All right. Once again, this last subject is very simple. We all know it. I just kind of wanting to get anybody's twist on it. Anything anybody wants to throw in there about artificial intelligence. It just there's sometimes when things happen with my devices that I don't have any control over, and I think that's the number one thing that I don't like going into the future with technology. I love technology. Sometimes I think I was born 20 years too early because I would have really liked to have been a millennial. No, that's not true. That's a lie. I would never want to. Lord, please forgive me. I didn't say that. But I have the most wonderful daughter and son-in-law that are millennials that are wonderful people. But still, AI, we can find it in Siri, Alexa, Cortana, our iPhones. Our iPhones is the number one thing that just Androids, computer updates. I don't know how many of you have Macs. Who's using a Mac? Yeah, see, I knew there was something I did.
We're the only ones.
But yeah, we know that. You guys don't have updates, do you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do they?
All the time, sir.
Macs have updates?
Yes, sir.
It's the viruses you don't have to worry so much about.
Yeah, I get you on that. Windows 10, I thought was the most wonderful, greatest thing that ever happened to my computer. Except I have no control over the updates and what the updates do to my computer. I pay $200 and have control over the updates, but my wife won't let me have the $200. Anyway, so that's one of the main ones. The autofill when you do something on your computer, you don't have any control over that. Facebook, YouTube. Here's an article I found that was just absolutely blew me away. I was looking for predictions for 2021 to go along with our first segment. And the first thing I got was something to do with AI in 2021. And it's like, wait, hold up. That's both segments of the show tonight. And so I want to read something real quick that I thought was real interesting. It says, by 2021, most businesses will provide some type of customer experience centered around AI as companies progress past proofs of concept and move into production. Indeed, AI systems will hit nearly $98 billion by 2021. IDC says that retail and banking industries will spend the most on AI, with investments targeted at automated customer service agents and diagnostic and treatment systems. For consumers, this means a large portion of their interactions with service providers such as banks and insurance companies will be through AI-based smart agents rather than human beings. Now, I've never heard people from India called smart agents before. Joke. That was a very low joke. I shouldn't have said that. Was terrible. But anyway, you get my point. Is smart agents will be the new thing, and the problem with it, is that you have no control over it. When you really need something really bad, there's that stinking AI that you just you can't call anybody. You can't. That's like YouTube. Thank God for YouTube. Thank you, Lord, for YouTube. But you can't call nobody. Google. Yeah, I got to use Google. I can't call nobody. It's all artificial intelligence. It's frustrating to me. Anybody else frustrated over AI?
I don't know if it's AI or not, but I miss the days that my phone was attached to the wall with the little table and pad, because I don't want to keep finding my phone in the refrigerator, in the oven, and the underwear drawer, and I'm always looking for my silly phone.
I'm with you.
And then
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I call my granddaughter and say, "Honey, make this work for Grammy," and she'll get over there and do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay. Who
Our
wants-
laptops.
Yeah.
Our laptops constantly update themselves, even though there's a little button in there. You slide it over. It says updates are off.
It's a placebo.
And then what was that? It's a
buttons-
placebo.
The buttons what?
A placebo.
Oh,
That's good. That's good, Daryl.
Look at that.
Only there for decoration.
Truly.
Yeah, it is. Because we'll get up in the morning and these two stupid things have restarted themselves and closed our documents, saved them in a place we can't find them. Then you spend the whole day trying to locate your documents. But my biggest complaint, everybody's all over the tablets and the computers. I do too. I complain all about all of this technology and how it invades our lives, our children's lives. I do not, under any circumstances, believe that my dishwasher has the right to text message me to tell me I forgot to start it. I also don't think my refrigerator should have the right to text me to say I need milk. And unfortunately, all of the appliances, I just want a refrigerator. We're so simple. Our refrigerator doesn't even make ice.
yeah, yes.
We have those old-fashioned trays. You fill them up, you put them in the freezer, and you crack them.
Yeah.
Good for
If
you.
you just want a stove that you turn the knobs, it doesn't talk to you.
and no smart TV because they spy on you.
Yeah, no smart.
I like my TV dumb.
I was going to say, is it possible to go in and ask, can I please buy a stupid TV? We don't want a smart one. We just want a dumb one.
I hate things that are smarter than me. I'm like,
But there's one thing I think is kind of dangerous especially with all like these protests and everything that are happening around the country. There was a couple who was trying to get away from a bad situation, and that automatic braking, when they had people standing behind the car wouldn't move and disengaged itself. They weren't able to get away from that situation.
Oh my.
And I think in this day and age, that's a bad thing to have. With these protests, you won't be able to escape it. You won't be able to get away.
We should all have the right to run people over if we need to.
That's right. That's right.
You just can't do it backwards.
these little boys down here, boy, you don't step out in front of them because you will be a spot on the road in the buses, and nobody will know where you went.
Well,
Maybe we could put tape over those sensors, and then that would turn them off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, most of those cars probably have a little lever that comes out and rips the tape off. So we have a Lexus. We drive a Lexus, but it's a 2004 Lexus. There are there's little things on the dashboard, but that's about it. Nothing else.
I think our nicest car was the 99 Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real easy to maintain.
Yeah, well, what was it? I've seen a couple of movies in the past couple of weeks that somebody was talking about having they'll only own a car later than such and such, because when the EMPs go off, they're still going to be able to drive wherever they want to go,
Yeah, really.
Isn't there a guy around here that has one of those old army trucks?
Yeah, we have a guy around here that has an old deuce and a half or 5 ton from the military, So,
Those things are not
with
to
you.
drive.
All right.
Mountains and snow, you got to have something.
Hey, that's
I think
exactly.
that AI is very dangerous for our future. Seriously, I know we're making a lot of jokes. I think it could be weaponized. I think it can be used to manipulate us to, like you herd cattle. You know, they're herding us into the slaughter chute. I think AI, and it may actually have some things to do with the end times because it talks about the image of the beast and talking and like that. Somebody kind of made that association with AI. I think it's very dangerous. And if they ever really develop it, I think we all better really watch out.
Well, there's a guy out of Vancouver, and I was just reading about him a couple of weeks ago. He's a young guy, he's in his 30s, and he's developing this computer company. And they're trying to make this quantum computer because the whole purpose of it is to summon these entities, as he calls them. And he says they're neither good nor bad. They won't. But he says the issue is they don't really even care about us because they're so superior to us,
right?
That we will be looked at as insects by them. So he says, we're kind of irrelevant to them. And the first thing that I'm thinking of is, why would you want to summon them then? But they're hell bent on bringing these entities. Yeah. And so AI is going to be listen, if Elon Musk is worried about AI, then we need to be concerned about AI.
Truly.
I think it's more definite in our future, and there will be more and more, and it will cover more and more industries, more than the coronavirus will still be around in 2021. That's all there is to it. Because I think
isn't there some place where they did like a CERN or something that they were whirling something around and they were trying to get into the next dimension or something like that? It was actually a movie, but they were really trying to do it.
They've done that. The CERN has done that.
Is it CERN?
That's why you're required to stay 6 feet apart. Is I've heard that the current algorithms can only differentiate people that are separated by this 6 foot distance. Your cameras, your recognition. Yeah, AI cannot differentiate it if you stay closer. Yeah. So that's why they want us at this point in time at the 6 foot mark.
Yeah. Well,
and when they implement 5G everywhere, that's when we get to come together.
Well, I think we can handle. It's not being in. People are not doing it. I mean, it makes no difference where you go. I love walking up to a restaurant and they got these little X's on the sidewalk out in front of the restaurant that's 6 feet apart. We love laughing at that stuff. It's just that, those are one thing, but it's when vehicles out on the road where you're driving are experiencing the social distancing. That bugs the heck out of me. We could tighten it up, people. Will you tighten it up?
Well, I wanted to give a small example of this AI that's going on, relating it to COVID. Eddie's nephew has an iPhone. In fact, we all got iPhones.
Yeah.
But there's a program in it called Health. And right now you can turn that off, which we have. A lot of people use it with their Fitbits, and they use it for their workouts and stuff like that. Well, he hadn't turned his off. And in the latest update for the iPhone, they snuck into the health thing this
contact tracing.
Really?
He was in a store.
Yes, sir.
Now he did have COVID. He actually even had a stroke because of it, but thank God it was a mild one. But he was in a store, and this little alarm came up on his phone and said, "You have become in contact with someone who has."
No stinking way. No stinking way.
Yes.
Yes, sir, buddy.
No stinking way.
Yes, sir.
So,
I refuse to believe that.
Well,
I wish we could not believe it. We witnessed it, sir.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. You see this? Later.
Hey, guys, we really, for our secure communications, we need to run strings through cans Can you imagine?
The next show we do will be with cans and strings. Yeah. So
Actually,
everybody show up at the next show with cans with strings. We'll just
You know
connect
that-
them from one box to the other box.
you know the Kevin Zadai that Melena mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had like a 5.5 hour with Yeshua. And
Yep.
one of the things he told him, and watch it on Sid Roth. I watched the extended version. It's an hour and 6 minutes, I think. The last name is Zadai. Kevin Zadai or Zadai. But anyway, one of the things he said that Yeshua told him, he said these towers going up that people aren't paying attention. Well, Yeshua didn't say that. I won't paraphrase it, okay? But these towers going up, he told him, he said, give your media a rest. They're tracking you.
Absolutely.
He said something about give your media a rest or give it a vacation. In other words, quit taking our phones everywhere.
Sherry, didn't you just have one erected right outside your window?
A what?
Did you just?
This is an internet.
Okay. You're talking about this, and I'm thinking.
No.
Okay, all right. Wow.
Wow.
Well, this has been fun. I enjoy this. This has been a fun little discussion and get together here, and we get to share it with several other people out there. So, hey, I enjoy talking with all you guys and your input. And everybody has a completely different way of looking at every one of these different subjects, and I love that. It's so good. I learn every time we do one of these discussion shows. I just love it so much. So I want to thank all you guys for coming in. And in the next shows coming up, I'm going to try to get different people in different weeks for different views on different subjects and stuff. But every one of you guys, I really appreciate your coming. I want you to come back. Robin is going on tour, a teaching tour, is leaving real early tomorrow morning, and she had to leave. I was actually real surprised she came in at all because she has to get up early, but she really wanted to come in, and she had a couple of messages here, and so thank you, Robin Gould, so much for coming and joining us. And, she'll be back. She enjoyed it, so we'll do this, and thank you all so much for doing this. This is a blast. I don't find too many things I like doing more than this at all. When we put the network together, one of the things that I had to have were discussion shows, just for this reason here. So really good. All right. Well,
we'd like to see her come on sometime too.
He said never come
Your
on.
wife.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Actually, Sherry, Daryl, and Melena, and Judith will all tell you they actually do shows produced by my wife, and my wife will not only not turn the camera on, but she didn't even turn the microphone on. So, they all have to communicate with her through the private chat because no way you're going to get her to talk or you'll see her on any of these things.
She's invisible.
Yeah, well, it's funny because my daughter and I, we're ready and willing to get in front of the camera, do whatever you want us to do, and everything. Dina is no way. She's not even going to come through the door behind the curtain back there. So, hey, I love you guys. This is great. Daryl and Melena, you guys are always over the top. You're here. Jim, man, it was so good. It's the first time you've been back on since we did the HR5. And I really enjoyed you coming in. Judith has done a couple of little things with us, but I would really love for you to come back and join us again. I'll be sending you to get that going. So thanks a million. Appreciate it. God bless you. And Eddie and Tammy, man, you guys are always over the top. It's just, it's like you start speaking and I got to lean in just to make sure I get every word there. You got to concentrate what Eddie and Tammy are talking, man. You got to concentrate on what they're saying because they're going to get to an end, but wow, listening to what they got to say.
Really enjoyed meeting Daryl and Milena and Jim and Judith. We really enjoyed meeting you, precious couples. And Sherry, seeing you again. We were with you a little bit, I think 2 months ago before you went to Florida.
Yep.
That was wonderful.
Cool.
Mark, you're a hoot. You're a hoot and holler, Mark.
Yeah, well, I've been called other things. So
I love your humor.
Well, he was before the show when they called about coming in. Eddie said that he liked my wit and wisdom, and really, seriously, all my wit and wisdom comes from Spiro T. Agnew. So if you want to know anything about where my humor comes from,
I love it.
No, I have to tell you, literally, way back when Spiro T. Agnew was he like vice president, I think?
Yes, he was.
At one time, they literally came out with a book about this big, about that big, and about 130 pages. And the title of the book was literally, "As God is my witness, the wit and wisdom of Spiro T. Agnew." And every page was blank.
Are you serious?
As God is my witness, 130 pages of blank in that book. The only thing was the copyright right in front.
Yeah.
I've never forgot that at all. So Wit and Wisdom of Spiro T. Agnew. I love that book.
That's great, Mark. That's great.
So anyway, and Sherry, you're always welcome anywhere I'm at. So appreciate it. All right, everybody, we're going to wind this one out because this is the show that never ends. And it will be back. So once again, God bless everybody. Thanks again for coming on.
I love it. That's great. That's great.
We'll see you in one of the shows coming up.
Love you guys.
You're going to be the co-host.
Oh no! What I have to put up with just to have a network to run. I'm telling you. Here we go. Hey, God bless everybody.
We are richly blessed to bring you what we believe is the fullest, most diverse, yet up-to-date progressive teachings, discussion, and prayer programming you can find anywhere on this planet. Be sure to take the tour of the MessianicLambRadio.com website. I'm Susan Hoogie, thanking you for joining us on the Messianic Lamb Video Network.